Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. This is the match that I've been looking forward to. I've honestly been sort of beating the drum for 2 years that this was the match that should happen at WrestleMania. I was honestly kind of surprised that it's almost like a last-ditch effort from WWE to try and find something for Triple H to do at WrestleMania that makes sense. Triple H versus Batista is honestly a big money match. Batista is somebody that matters to the world of wrestling. I don't know if you really call Batista a real, movie star. I don't think if Batista comes out and makes a movie that's not going to be involved with the Marvel franchise, that it's going to be a blockbuster hit, that they're putting Batista's picture up in movie theaters and saying, come see the Batista movie. I think that honestly, he got into a niche role that is with Disney, and he's one of the main guys in that movie, but I don't think that he's really a movie star like The Rock, where you could put The Rock on any movie poster and you're going to be looking at it like, I'm going to go see that movie. I didn't see Rampage. I did recently rent Skyscraper. I honestly don't come out and say that a lot of Rock movies are bad. I think all of them have been good. I've sat there, I've watched them. When it was done, I just basically say that I was glad I checked them out. I never saw Doom. I never saw... there's another Rock movie that people say is bad, but Skyscraper was a pointless, boring movie that, basically you knew what was coming next, and even the action scenes, there wasn't really any good action in them. I thought it was a horrible movie that, honestly, in my mind, never should have been made. But back to Batista. Batista coming back to WWE, him attacking Ric Flair, I thought was awesome. I mean, you go back to the SmackDown anniversary show, the 1000th episode, I believe is what it was, when Batista made his return with Evolution. I couldn't really tell what the hell was going on. There was definitely a place where sort of Batista called out Triple H, and then less than a minute later, they're nose to nose, then they're giving each other hugs, and it was almost like they started a confrontation and then didn't really know if they were going to be able to go through with it, so they tried to say that everything was all right with them, and they just basically closed the door. It's been a long time since WrestleMania 21. I just talked about WrestleMania 21 in my last video. When I was talking, I should have talked about it during that ladder thing when I was talking about the World Heavyweight Championship. I hope it's going to be a ladder match. But at WrestleMania 21, when I was talking about Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, and that'd be a good match to try and have for WrestleMania 35 if Shawn thinks he can go one more time. But man, that was a good WrestleMania. WrestleMania 21, I'm gonna tip the can to you. That's a damn good show. Triple H versus Batista. Batista sort of, saw the writing on the wall. That Evolution was a platform for Triple H and only for Triple H. It was about him being the champion and, staying the champion. Not about growing, the new future stars of WWE. Randy Orton was able to go out and win the World Heavyweight Championship. Then, of course, was jumped by Triple H for going out and doing it. It wasn't like, all for one. And as long as Evolution's doing well, we're all doing well. It was basically Triple H's way or the highway. And that's the same thing that they tried to do with Batista. After Batista won the Rumble, Triple H tried to sway him to switch brands and go over to SmackDown and go after their title. But instead, I think Batista had enough of Triple H on, his sort of tactics of trying to, just sway him in the wrong direction. And Batista knew that going after Triple H was the only way that was going to make him the biggest star, to bring in the biggest money, and, just sort of put WWE in the right direction. And that's what he did. I think Batista ended up beating Triple H on 3 shows in a row, and a lot of people talk about Triple H, and especially like Hulk Hogan, they bring up the Ultimate Warrior thing, that years later down the road, Hogan got Warrior in WCW just so he can beat him, and a lot of people say the same things about Triple H, is that Triple H is always going to make sure that, even if he does a job for somebody, he's going to get that win back somewhere down the road, just to be able to say, I did that, I beat that guy. Some of that stuff I believe, some of that stuff I don't really believe. But Triple H never had that rematch against Batista. Triple H never beat Batista. You might be able to look it up, and they were in some sort of a triple threat or maybe in some sort of a four-way. But I think when it comes down to it, Triple H versus Batista in a singles encounter never happened after their feud that he started at WrestleMania 21, and they had that Hell in a Cell match and all that jazz. That was it. It was over. You know, Triple H stayed on Raw, Batista went to SmackDown, and on the time that Triple H was on SmackDown, I think Batista was either injured or maybe Batista might have been on Monday Night Raw, so it never could have happened. But Batista coming back, his promo that he did on Monday Night Raw, him yelling at Triple H, basically saying, "Give me what I want," that he's in control. I loved Batista's part. Triple H's part, I don't normally say a lot of stuff about Triple H that I don't like because he is one of my favorite guys. I think it's either him or Hogan. We've talked about this all the time. Triple H is honestly one of the best guys. When I used to watch wrestling back in the day and it wasn't on the network, it was on real pay-per-views, and I had to come up with my money because I lived in my apartment and mommy and daddy weren't going to help with that cable bill. When I ordered, a WWE pay-per-view, yeah, I knew Undertaker was going to be on it, The Rock was going to be on it, Stone Cold was going to be on it, and their matches would deliver from time to time, but I knew every time Triple H was on a pay-per-view, it didn't matter if he was in the main event, if he was in the co-main event, wherever he was, that match was going to be worth $30 to me, and that was why I paid to watch those shows. I got a chance to tell him that when I met him one time, and I'm pretty sure he liked it. At least it felt good for me to tell him that month after month when I was buying those shows, it was for him. And a lot of people probably tell him that you're my favorite wrestler, dude. But I think when it comes down to it, putting your money where your mouth was, I think that means something right there. But this is going to be a great match. This honestly could go either way. In my mind right now, the only way I see this playing out is Triple H beating Batista. I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense because people think of Batista being this big movie star, and people thinking that Triple H is going to get the win here because he's got to be the guy to beat everybody because he's in control and doesn't want anybody else to be over other than him. But I don't know. I mean, I really didn't know what to think about when Batista came back for that WrestleMania 30 run. Obviously, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. He came in, he won the Rumble. People thought he was going to go to WrestleMania and he was going to win the championship. And, he would be a part of WWE. We knew that he was going to leave, but we didn't really know when he was going to leave. But the way he left after doing the Evolution versus the Shield deal, kind of was sticky to me, and I think we all thought that Batista was going to come back for SummerSlam, and then when he didn't come back for SummerSlam, well, he'll be a part of WrestleMania, and WrestleMania 31 came, 32 came, 33 came, and there was always those faint rumors that maybe this is the year Batista comes back and we have that match against Triple H, and it never happened. Here we are, WrestleMania 35, and it's almost kind of like an afterthought because, we didn't have Roman Reigns at one time. We didn't know when he was coming back. And it was almost like they called him just out of like, oh shit, what are we going to do next kind of deal. So, Batista could be here for months. He could be here for only one. So in my mind, I'm picking Triple H to get the win here. And we'll have to see what goes down. WrestleMania 35. As of right now, I mean, this is the match that I'm looking forward to, but I only think as the build comes for WrestleMania, I'm going to get more hungry for this match, and I think I'm going to be ready for it.